Hey everybody, this is Gargoyle Gecko. Today I'll be doing my October 2016 reptile room where I'll be displaying all of my animals and all their setups. And I've got to say a lot of changes happened to my reptile room since last time I did one, which was in July. I've gotten a lot of new setups, and as you saw in the intro picture, all of my cages are now front opening, which is pretty awesome feeling. And because front opening cages are so much better than top opening cages, because they're just so much easier to get into and they look a lot nicer. So expect a pretty professional looking reptile room. So I'm going to start off by showing you my crested gecko in my crested gecko Frito. She's an extreme harlequin crested gecko in her new 12 by 12 by 20, like it's made out of acrylic. It's just a clear acrylic tank with that, and it's a living vivarium. I've got a lot of ivy and sansevieria, pothos, philodendron, live moss, and a nice looking clay background with some sphagnum moss all over it. It's a pretty naturalistic setup. Stays really humid in there. She was really liking it. And let me get her out for you. Her name's Frito. She's been doing well in this cage. She's been eating. She's been maintaining the same weight. She's an adult, so I'm not expecting her to grow much. She's about 60 grams. Oop, don't jump. She's about 60 grams. Maybe I can set her up here on the glass. No. Sorry. She's about 60 grams, so she's a really healthy weight. I could breed her if I wanted to, but I'm not interested in doing that. She's a really, really pretty, awesome gecko. She's my best tempered gecko. She's just kind of stressed out because I just pulled her out of her cage. She's been hanging out in that sansevieria a lot lately. She's really liking that. You want to jump back in? 3, 2, 1, go. Called it. She's a little fired up right now. It's the daytime, so she's not fired up all the way, but she's kind of stressed out that I brought her out of here. But she's an extreme harlequin crested gecko with a lot of Dalmatian spots on her. She's a really cool looking gecko. She's really pretty. So she's liking it. She's digging her new setup. It's pretty sweet, I must say. Let me give you a better view. Yeah, pretty awesome. I'm pretty happy with the clay background. She hasn't torn it up, which is really a plus. And she's got that hollow back in the back, but she hasn't used that nearly as much as she did in her last setup. Alright guys, so here's my tomato frog Elmo, who is trying to drink up this water I just sprayed him down with. Here's his new setup. I don't believe you guys have seen this yet. It's a 12 by 12 by 18 Zoom Ed tank. Like I said, I was making the shift towards all front opening cages because I have a job and I've been making a little bit of money, so why not go be a little more professional and get some nicer looking tanks for him. And also, especially for this kind of animal, he doesn't move but maybe, I don't know, 12 inches every couple months. He just kind of stays stationary all the time and waits for me to give him some food. So this is a perfectly good sized cage for him. I've got a spider plant in the back, and I've got some live moss growing around his bowl right here, and some back up in that corner, and some extra moss right here. It's a little drier. It's just kind of for color. It doesn't hold humidity as well. Nice heat pad over here. Keep them at a great temp. He's been eating so well, and he's been using his water dish, eating well, being a little more active than usual. And by active, I don't mean walking around active. I mean he's just kind of, he'll wobble around, he'll dig more. He seems to be liking this, what is it called? Lugarti Ultimate Reptile Substrate. Really fine, powdery substrate. Doesn't smell bad. It's antibacterial, I believe. It's really, really great substrate. He's liking it. I put a little bit of bark in there, but really not that much. He seems to be digging it, and I'm digging it too. It's a pretty nice setup, and he's an awesome frog. So yeah, I'd like to do a feeding video on him sometime as well. Everybody, so here's my Gargoyle Gecko Comet. I'll get her out in just a moment. I'm going to show you her setup first. So her setup kind of got flooded. This is the reason I'm starting to use only egg crate drainage layer, because I'm having I've had troubles with hydroton balls and other organic drainage layers flooding. So I just went ahead and cleaned out the whole cage, put in a new drainage layer, put in new bedding. It's staying nice and dry. but humid enough, you know, the substrate's not like drowning, you know. I'm keeping the cage nice and humid. I've got this one plant growing here and some moss that she's kicked around everywhere, so that's just kind of looking messy, but it's a pretty nice setup. She likes it. She's been eating a lot better lately. Now that I've been putting her food in smaller cups, she's been cleaning it out, so I'm really happy for her. She's my gecko with MBD. I can go ahead and throw that away. Buckets. She's my gecko with MBD, so I have to watch her, make sure she's eating. Let's see if I can get her out. That's kind of lodged in there. Here, hold on just a moment. I got her out because she was kind of glued to that piece of cork bark that she hangs out on a lot. As you can see, she's a really beautiful gecko. Sadly, she was stunted in growth by the MBD, but I still really like her. She's a great gecko, great pet. She's real calm. I've been giving her a lot of crickets lately. She's been cleaning out her food dish. I'm about to weigh her in a moment. So, now that I've got her out, I might as well go ahead and weigh her. She's been doing real good. This is Comet. She's a red striped gargoyle gecko. She's got really great definition of stripes. Really pretty, beautiful gecko. Let's get her to focus. Yeah. Before I start talking about my African fat-tailed gecko, Mocha, right in front of me, in case y'all are interested, Comet did gain 3 grams, so that's a plus. That's always something I want to see. So let's go ahead and grab Comet. I've got her in this, I'm going to call it a 20 or 18 gallon National Geographic tank. These are really professional, nice tanks. They've got really clear, clean glass, really sleek setup. The underside of this tank, it's not just clear. It's got a kind of a matte black coating to it, which is pretty professional looking. It's got this really cool locking mechanism. I know not many people have these because most people have the ExoTerra tanks. I got an awesome deal on this thing. I got it for $50, and it was originally, what, $160? So that was undoubtedly a must get. So what you do is you stick the glass back here, and that's how you lock it. You get this suction cup with the key on it, and you lock it. There's no way your gecko's going to be getting out. So then you get the key back in here, twist open, use the suction cup to pull open the door, and with your other hand pull open this door, and then you're set to go to take care of your pet. So I've got Mocha in this really pretty natural looking cage. This moss was kind of dried up. It's not live moss, but I could probably spray it down a little bit more. With this really pretty pothos growing across, making it look really natural and overgrown and everything. Got a couple pieces of grass in there. She likes to tear up the grass because she licks the grass so much. Here, I'm going to get her out in just a moment. But that's her warm hide back in there. She spends most of her time most of the day back in there. That's a really neat setup for her. Got this huge cork hollow in there. Just looks kind of like a fallen tree. All cork in here. And then I've got 2 rocks. Rock right there. And a rock right here. So pretty legit setup. Let me grab her. Let's get her out. You can easily move this, which is awesome. Oh, she almost got squished by this leaf. Cork's really lightweight, so it's easy to manage and move around. Alright, were you asleep, sweetie? It's nice and warm right there. She probably likes that. Scoop her up. Come on. It's kind of hard to do with one hand, especially when she's fidgeting around. Okay. So here is Mocha, my African fat-tailed gecko, who's starting to already reel backwards, which is something she does for some reason. Let's set her down. She's been eating really well. I was kind of worried that I put her in a pretty large cage that she might slow down eating, but if anything, she's increased eating, so that's a great thing. She's a striped morph, as you can tell. It's very apparent, really pretty gecko. She's so calm. She's the gecko that I'll give to my younger cousins and let them hold. She's a really nice gecko. African fat-tailed geckos, as a rule, are a little less temperamental than leopard geckos, which means that these are really, really calm, because leopard geckos are pretty calm themselves. Oh, sorry, sweetie. Alright guys, so we're going to scoot down a level and check out my leopard gecko, Phoenix, and his brand new extra wide ExoTerra setup. Extra wide ExoTerra. That's, might be a tongue twister. So, where is he at? He's not right there. Oh, here he is. in this his cool hide over here. So this was the last front opening cage I had to get. It's kind of weird that this was my first gecko and he turned out to be the last gecko with a front opening cage, but I don't think he cares too much. It's looking really, really nice, nice and natural. He's been exploring it so much. It's pretty crazy to see how leopard geckos and all types of geckos really will lick their environment and walk around and rub up against their new surroundings to try to understand and get and calm themselves in their new environment. So over here is going to be is the moist and warm hide. Got some moss back in there, a little more wood chips than all around the cage. I've got moss sprinkled around so I can kind of spray the cage without too much worry. I can get some humidity all around the cage. It's got a lot of great places for him to scrape up against when he's shedding. Another hide back in here with some more bark for a humid hide if need be. And this is one of his favorite hides. When he's feeling a little warm, he just crawls over in this long tube, and I bet he feels very secure in there. But overall, I'm really happy with how this looks. It's not a vivarium, which vivariums are kind of hard to make with leopard geckos because they are a desert species, unless you use succulents and drier plants, cactuses. You can't really do living vivariums, but you want to come out, dude? Sometimes he tries. There we go. He's probably gotten over that trick. He's seen this trick for a couple years. But he's really explorative. He comes out whenever I'm in the room and just kind of looks at me, trying to figure out whether I'm friend or foe. Come on out, dude. He's maintaining a steady about 90 grams, 85 to 90 grams. So really healthy leopard gecko. I'm really happy with his growth rate and how he does. He's my first gecko. He's a really great one. He's just a normal leopard gecko. He's not any special morph. But he's a really great gecko. I think he's liking his cage too. Alrighty guys, so here is my Lychee Gecko Titan. I actually stopped filming for several hours and waited for him to come out because he's like all my geckos, they're all nocturnal. He's probably the most predominantly nocturnal. He likes to come out only when it's in the evening. So here is my Pine Island Lychee Gecko Titan. He is a little bit cage aggressive, as you can tell, but once you get him out, he's very chill. He's just not a big fan of me messing around with him in his tank. But as you can tell, his tank's looking pretty nice. Nice little 18 by 18 by 24, really natural looking. He hasn't torn it up, which is a plus, which is the main thing I was afraid of. But he has not yet turned it up, so that is a plus. Let me show you. He's fired up right now since it's nighttime. He's got really beautiful pink coloration on him. He's a Pine Island Lychee. Really predominant pink blotches and some white blotching and some black striping right around there. He's a really great cricket eater and a really great Pangea eater. He officially has reached 100 grams. Only 200 more to go, or even more, hopefully more. So yeah, he's doing really great. He's a good gecko once you get him out, but while he's in the cage, he's a little bit cage aggressive, but he's really cool. Probably my favorite species of gecko. I can't really pick a favorite out of my geckos, but I really do like the Pine Islands. The Lychee geckos, they're pretty sweet. Alright guys, so finally I'm going to show you my fire-bellied toad right here. See if I can get him scooted over. Here he is. His name's Bump. He ate pretty well last night. He's all covered in dirt. But he's a really pretty frog. I've noticed that these guys kind of change color a lot, which is kind of weird. One day he'll be bright green, the next day he'll be a little bit darker like he is now. But he's still got that really beautiful, and he fell. He's got that really pretty orange belly, which is their namesake. Now I've got him in this really simple setup. He's eating pretty well in this cage. I had this tank laying long ways horizontally, but it started leaking, so I decided to change it back to how it's supposed to be, and it's a perfect size for him. Got a big water dish in the middle, a lot of moss, a couple of hides. He seems to like it. He's been eating, so I'm happy with it too. Alright guys, so that pretty much sums up my reptile room video for October 2016. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like if you enjoyed, and share and subscribe. Thanks for watching. It's Gargoyle Geckos. I'll see you on the next one.